You like, crap. Who needs all that? I like the big stuff. So, as I said in my info minute, $2 billion in the next 36 hours will be lost because of basketball. It's like, what is that? It's like, ends up, I just looked it up, $55.5 million an hour for the next 36 hours. So, when you look at it that way, you're like, dang, that's crazy. But I will certainly partake and do as much as I can to add that number up. But in the folder, you have two documents. The one on the left is our owner-occupied commercial real estate rate and term sheet. This is something that I've talked about in the past, something Jim has talked about on the residential side, and actually just mentioned in his info minute. On the right-hand side, these are the current rates. They are always subject to change, of course, but they've been pretty steady the last few months. The big thing about this is on the left, no origination fee, which is generally 1% of the total loan amount, as well as no application fee. And the closing costs are covered up to $3,500. So for a commercial appraisal, it's generally about $2,000. So this basically takes care of that. So if you talk to any of your clients or they're talking about getting out of their lease, this is perfect for that. If they want to invest and own their own commercial building, then put them in touch, and I'll take it from there and hopefully get them into something where they're not renting each month. All right, the other document is the team approach, and I talked about it in my info minute, and it's something that makes sense to me as a sports fan. They're all teams, I mean, you have golf and you have all that stuff, but even in a sport like NASCAR, you have a team that supports the driver. And that's something that I've found in banking you don't always see. You see one person, they think they can do it all, and sometimes they can, but unfortunately sometimes they can't. And the client is the one that ends up paying for that. So a few things that makes First Citizens different. Wendy has told us that after 3 to 4 contacts, the masses will essentially give up and move on. So they're going to call, they're going to email, they may even drop a handwritten note, but at some point they say, you know what, I got better things to do, I got other clients, I can't follow up with all these people. However, in banking, follow-up is crucial since it's so competitive. Everyone already has a bank, but maybe not a banker. So that's something I've talked about, the difference between the guy sitting at the desk as well as the guy that talk to, have his cell phone number saved in your cell phone, text message at 9 o'clock because you can't get into online banking, that kind of thing. That's a banker. Adding a second or third teammate increases the points of contact and narrows the gap in which a prospect or client could slip through. So here's a hypothetical scenario. Dr. Whitetooth approaches his longtime CFP, Ben Clark, and tells him with a big smile on his face that he's finally ready to retire. He hesitates, however, and asks how can he transition his clients to his practice partner of the last 7 years. Ben calls me Wednesday night, passes the referral here to me at Power Core the next morning, and I set the appointment right after the meeting. After receiving the referral record, I go back to the office and immediately set a meeting with Leah Williamson, who some of you have met. The first phone call occurs within an hour, and the point of this is for introduction and to inquire about the current needs. The buzzword for this is a needs assessment or a consultation. It's essentially introducing ourselves, finding out what they need, and it may even involve calling you who sent the referral to find out exactly what they're looking for. The goal of this is to set a face-to-face appointment within 48 hours. So the two things there in blue are very crucial, and that's our running theme. Face-to-face, on-site, as well as within 48 hours. So the second meeting. Dr. Whitetooth has identified his goal as far as retirement and passing on his clientele to the younger Dr. Freshbreath. So this meeting will involve our full team along with both of the dentists. Our full team is myself, Leah, who I mentioned earlier, and a gentleman by the name of Patrick Cole, who Tony met just a few weeks ago. Patrick is our dedicated business banker for the Cumberland office. The team approach that we implement is designed that each member is an expert in specific fields while still maintaining a working knowledge in all of the fields. We do that to ensure consistency. If someone can't be reached because they're in an appointment, then we can follow up. So the breakdown of the expertise is Patrick. He's our financing guy. He handles the real estate, the equipment, the lines of credit, like this scenario, the buy-in, buy-out of a medical practice. Leah is handling all of our treasury services and credit card processing, so your merchant card services. And my expertise is account relationships, business credit cards, and I'm the lead point for any problems and issues. This is before, during, as well as after. So even 6 months from now, if there's a problem, it still runs through me. The goal here is to leave with complete financials and all associated statements to analyze the entire relationship. The team will set a second face-to-face meeting to deliver the final presentation. The goal of this would be to deliver a full proposal for lending, credit cards, account relationship, and treasury services, again, within 48 hours of acquiring all the documents. So we're going to ask for tax returns, statements, maybe a personal financial statement, anything like that. Once we get at that, our goal is to deliver a face-to-face presentation within 48 hours. As a team, we want to acquire a full relationship, not a la carte services. And when we have the opportunity to acquire a full relationship, we have the ability to rival every financial institution, and we are extremely competitive. The last section here is about 40% of our entire portfolio is in the medical field or related to the medical field. This is why I've talked about the medical industry products. And the average savings on a merchant services proposal is 15 to 20%, which is often enough to buy out a contract, even if you happen to be in one. And the last page is just my updated information. I have changed offices. The new cards are in the box. But my direct line has changed. Everything else is the same. So my cell phone and my email address are still exactly the same. That's all I got.